Guys, welcome back to my channel, The Physio Sapien, and this is the second lecture of strengthening. And today we are going to learn about repetition max. So what all are we going to learn? The definitions of rep max, 1 rep max and 10 rep max, the usage of repetition maximum, how it is calculated, the alternate methods of determining baseline strength for various exercises, training zone for different individuals, and what is a dynamometer. So coming on to the first topic, that is definitions of repetition max, 1 repetition max and 10 repetitions max. Okay, so repetition max is the greatest amount of weight or load a muscle can move through the available range of motion for a specific number of times. The repetition max can be of various types, like it can be 1 rep max, 2 rep max, 5 reps max, 10 rep max, any number. Okay, so the number of times it moves. So 1 RM is the greatest amount of weight a muscle can move through the available range for one time, while the 10 rep max is the greatest amount of weight a muscle can move through the available range of motion for 10 times. So according to this, repetition varies from person to person as well as muscle to muscle. So smaller muscles like biceps have a repetition max lower than the bigger muscles like the pectoralis or the quadriceps. Repetition max also varies from individual to individual. A person with sedentary life has a repetition max lower than a person who has to go out on the field to work. An untrained person has a repetition max lower than a trained individual. A younger individual will have a repetition max higher than an older individual. So repetition max varies from person to person and varies from muscle to muscle. So what is repetition max useful for? It is used for assessment of the muscle strength. It is used to set goals for the future. It is used to plan the program, and it is also used to assess the progression during the exercise training. Okay, so it is used to document a baseline measurement of dynamic strength of the muscle. So when a patient arrives, you will need to check what is the baseline strength, what is the current situation of the patient. So it is used for that, to check on exercise improved strength of muscle. So you have given him some training program, and so in the future you need to check how the muscle has progressed. So it is used for that. To identify an exercise load to be used during exercise for a specific number of repetitions. So during a strengthening program, as we have talked about it, we change the amount of weight, we change the amount of reps, and we change the amount of sets during each exercise program. So it keeps on changing during the exercise strengthening program. So we need to interchange among the repetition max. So sometime one day he will be training at 10 rep max, one day he will be training at 5 rep max, or someday at 15 rep max. So the variation in the rep max keeps changing and the load changes according to that. So we need to know the repetition max for that reason. And it is also used for goal setting, to achieve the specific goals that the person needs for the sport or doing the daily activities. The most important part of this repetition max thing is how to calculate 1 rep max and 10 rep max. Okay, so first step is, on the basis of weight, gender and injury, select a load and ask the patient to perform as many reps he or she can. Okay, so here the patient has arrived and you have seen the gender. Males usually lift more weight than females. Okay, and according to the injury and according to the weight of the individual, you will give him some load. For example, for bicep curls, you will give a dumbbell of 1 kg or 2 kg and ask him to perform as many reps as he can. Okay, then according to the number of reps he has done, we will use the scales. One of the 2 scales you can use. There are many standardized scales, but here are 2 of the scales: the Holter diagram and the Brisky method. So I personally use Brisky method because I find it more comfortable to use. You can have your own choice. You can search online for different scales. Okay, so what is a Holter diagram? Holter diagram is a triangular diagram where on one side we have the percentage of weight and on the other side we have repetitions. So for 100% of the weight, the person can perform 1 reps, and similarly 95% is 2 reps, 90% is 4 reps, 85% is 7 reps, and so on. It continues. As the percentage decreases, the number of reps increases. Okay, so this is the Halton diagram, and you can convert the amount of reps directly. Next is the Britsky method. Britsky method, 1 RM is equal to load multiplied by 36 divided by 37 minus reps. So the number of reps he has performed will be put here, and the load we have given him will be mentioned here, and it will be calculated accordingly. The 1 rep max will be found, and by correlation I have calculated that the 10 rep max is 75% of 1 rep max. So for example, his 1 rep max is 10 kg. So the 10 rep max will be 7.5 kg, and so you can directly use 10 rep max into his training program. So this is Britsky method and Halton diagram, and you can Google various scales and use whichever you feel comfortable with. So here we have an example of 1 rep max and 10 rep max calculation. Okay, so I will solve it for you. So the question is, an individual performs 18 reps of biceps curl with a 1 kg dumbbell. Calculate its 1 rep max and 10 rep max. Okay, so we will go for Britsky method, which says 1 rep max is equal to load multiplied by 36 upon 37 minus reps. Okay, so the load is 1 kg multiplied by 36 upon 37 minus 18, which will come to 36 upon 19, which is approximately 2 kgs. Okay, so the 1 rep max is 2 kgs. Now 10 rep max is 75% of 1 rep max. So 75% of 2 kg. Okay, so this is 3 by 4, 2 ones are 2 twos are, and so the 10 rep max is 1.5 kgs. So this is how we calculate 1 rep max and 10 rep max. So all these were the standardized scales used to calculate the 1 rep max and 10 rep max of an individual. But there are also some different methods to calculate the baseline strength of an individual. It is according to the percentage of body weight used to estimate the amount of external resistance to be used. Standard exercises have a percentage of external load that can be used to perform the activity according to the person's body weight. Some of them are, for bench press, we can use 30% of the person's body weight. Leg extension, it is 20% of the body weight. Leg curl, it is 10 to 15% of the body weight, and leg press is 50% of the body weight. So this is the baseline strength. So for a normal individual who is untrained, whose goal is to have day-to-day activity, this is the baseline strength we need to achieve over time. There are various training zones according to the individual, according to the lifestyle of the individual. Okay, so the amount of resistance to be used at the initiation of resistance training is calculated as a percentage of 1 RM for particular muscle group. Okay, so for sedentary and untrained people, we go as low as 30 to 40% of their 1 rep max. For an healthy but untrained individual, we go from 40 to 70% of their 1 rep max, and for highly trained individuals, we usually go greater than 80% of their 1 rep max. So according to the lifestyle of the person, according to the goals of the person, we change the amount of training zones of the person. So the last topic for today's video is a dynamometer. So what is a dynamometer? Dynamometer is an instrument which is used to test the strength of a muscle. So which muscle it is usually used for? It is usually used to check the grip strength of a muscle, but it can also be used to check the strength of upper limb and lower limb muscle. So why is it helpful? It can provide highly accurate and reliable calculation of the strength. It is also very portable. For example, the handheld dynamometers, which is usually used in a clinic to check the grip strength of the muscle of the hand, that is forearm muscles. So this was all about repetition max, 1 rep max, 10 rep max, how to calculate those things, what are the uses of 1 rep max and 10 rep max, what is a handheld dynamometer, the Holton diagram, and the Britsky method for calculation of 1 rep max and 10 rep max. That was all. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. You can also follow me on Instagram. This is Ronak Chandak signing off.